Down. What's up, everybody? You are tuned into the Elks Call, your home for Edmonton Elks Fan Talk. My name is Scout, aka the rep from Section X.
And I'm Catherine, aka David Elks.
Coming to you live on Shotgun Sports Network with the replay airing exclusively on Edmonton Sports Talk. Kathy, isn't this the most exciting time of year for sports?
It's busy for sure. I mean, yeah, and it's good. It's good that it's, the middle of October and we are seeing the Elks still in the running, the Blue Jays in the playoffs, and now the Oilers. So I think it's exciting because of that. No, we've seen other years that it's the opposite, that it's not necessarily the most exciting, but it's still going.
Hey, you know what? Elks playoffs. That word is still applicable to this team on the turf. So I think that is very exciting. We have an exciting show up ahead, and our viewers and our listeners and our guests are also exciting. So we can't thank you enough for riding with us here on the Elks Call. Please hit the like, subscribe, and favorite buttons to show some love, as your support means everything to us here at Shotgun Sports Network. All right. The stacked schedule today is as follows. We're going to open up with the More You Didn't Know, where we talk to our guest about a variety of topics. After that, we're going to have a couple of announcements. Then we're going to give you a Kathy's Herd Report, where we bring you the latest news, game, and transactions in Double E land. After that, we're going to run you through an Edmonton Sports update, and then we're going to play some Green or Gold, our spin on Hot or Not. And then finally, we're going to open up the fan forum, where we talk about hot topics surrounding the Edmonton Elks and the CFL world as a whole. We're interactive, which means our viewers, live viewers, can comment and ask questions. If it's on Facebook, that's going to be the Elks Herd, and on YouTube, which is Shotgun Sports Network. So make sure you get your comments and questions into the Herd chat. But let's get this show rolling with the More You Didn't Know, where we talk to our guest about a variety of topics. This segment is brought to you by Royal Retros. Save 10% off your order over at royalretros.com using code SHOTGUNSPORTS, all caps, no spaces. They are the throwback kings, and they have CFLPA merchandise and CFL-inspired merchandise. So go check it out. Fantastic goods, fantastic folks. That's royalretros.com, code SHOTGUNSPORTS. But without further ado, please welcome to the show co-host of the Turf District podcast and writer for 3 Down Nation. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Andrew Hoskins.
Hello. How are you guys? Thanks for having me on.
Hey, thanks for joining us tonight. We're always appreciative of your time. Are you as sweaty as we are over these last 3 games, Andrew?
Yeah, I believe on our show we were saying that we're not sure that they have enough AEDs at the Commonwealth Stadium for the way that this team plays, because all of us are sitting in the stands hoping that the heart medication kicks in at some point. It's just that they can't. It's always got to be close, and it's like, guys, people say, I don't like blowout football games. I do when my team is ahead. I would love that. I 100% volunteers tribute to have that happen. So let's have one of those.
Oh, you can't trust elite right now. Before you go into the fourth, it doesn't matter how many points you're ahead. If you're going into the fourth with this team, you are stressing, and you're stressed until there's zeros on the clock. So I get it.
Yeah, we have a 3 Down chat with a bunch of the writers, and a couple of times this year, we've been going into the fourth with a fairly big lead, and this lead is safe, and I'm like, oh no. I am never saying that ever, because
no lead is safe in the CFL.
That's right. And our team likes to make things interesting. So let's this last one in particular, right? Just I was sitting in the stands and sitting with my son, and I'm like, okay, they got the ball back. There's just over a minute. I'm like, okay, if they can at least get the field goal, we're good. Like, that's 8 points. We're not worried about a walk-off field goal. Like, we should be good. Yeah. and then I'm down on the field waiting to go in for the meeting. If I have to watch overtime by the fire truck, there's part of me that's like kind of excited and part of me that's like, you've got to be kidding me. Please.
Oh, too close. Way too close.
Way too close. I mean, like Andrew said, gonna need some ADs on on deck, right? Especially for these last 3, 2 of them at home. So we'll talk about it in just a
fan
moment.
gift at the end of the year is here's your AED. Just there you go. Yeah, so fan appreciation day. Here's your stuffy AED that just in case. Yeah.
The little double E.
Yes.
The little double E.
AEDs, yes.
I see there. Well, I understand that the Elks listen. This is your marketing idea right there. We've already solved the problem. Yeah.
There you go.
I love it. Oh, so good. Herd chat, you know what to do. If you have any questions or comments for Andrew Hoskins, make sure you throw it in that herd chat. Let's get this started. First question here, Andrew. We do like to get to know our guests right away, so we must ask first and foremost, what was your first major sports memory?
Oh, well, I've talked about this a few times, but my very first Elks game. It was I was about 7 years old, and of course it was in the middle of the 5 in a row. Yep, I'm that old, and it's an image that I just have. I don't remember much else from the game, but I do remember this quarterback that we had, this Warren Moon guy. I don't know if you've heard of him before. Anyway, he threw this pass, and so it was Marco Sincar that was right in front of us. And basically when it hit Marco, it kind of sounded like a gun went off. Like the ball was such a hard throw, and Marco caught it, came down with it. And of course, it was like on the 10 or something like that. But I just have that image in my mind. And from there, Marco became my favorite player. And I've always been a 27. That's the number that I always watch on whatever team. And obviously Warren's Warren. And so it's kind of one of those things that, and I mean, obviously that was the heyday because we had the Oilers running, we had the Elks, or I guess Eskimos at the time, running, and it was just like, yeah, like every time there's a championship, like, doesn't our team play in it? Like, that's how I learned as a kid, and then realized, oh, that's not how it works. I was just incredibly spoiled. So yeah, it was that's probably my biggest memory.
That's cool. It's like a core memory, when it goes
100%.
that far back, and it just becomes that core memory that you really wish on all the kids. Like, I hope that that's how the boys remember it. Unfortunately, we're not in the era of Warren Moon and the 5 in a row, but maybe they'll remember things for different reasons because of how fun the games are and all of that good stuff.
Well, even Kyle's like, hey, remember that one time I tried to say hi to that quarterback, and like he's messed up his names a couple times and his name a couple times, and I'm like, yeah, Warren Moon, when you saw Warren Moon there and you almost said hi to him, right? And like that's like a little core memory for him. I think yours is just a little bit more special because you actually got to see Warren Moon.
I did get to see him play, and then I'd kind of seen him in passing a few times, and we had him on the show way back when. It was just on the phone though, and but then at the 75th celebration, the dinner at the beginning of last year, of course Warren was there, and I don't usually get starstruck. Like I have fun and it's whatever, it's all good, but I'm like, that's Warren Man. And I have a very good friend, Paul Reckner, that said, well, go and ask for a picture. I'm like, but that's Warren Moon. Like, this is big. He's at this thing. It's a big deal. And he's like, come with me. So he just kind of whisked me over, and he's like, Warren, is it okay if we get a picture? Sure. And so I got a picture, and it was just like, so it was great. So I have that a little bit, like I see with my older son, when he really was getting into football, it was Mike Riley. Right. And so he has that same obviously not exactly the same memory, but pretty close to the same kind of memory with Michael Riley. So whenever he sees him, he's kind of like, oh, that's Michael Riley. That's pretty cool. And so it's kind of neat to have a little bit of that connection throughout the years.
Now,
All right.
yes, you want to say it?
Andrew, we have a little thing here at this show because obviously we all know that MR13 is Scout's favorite player ever. So every time anybody mentions Michael Riley, we have to drink. So
Oh, fair enough.
You said it 3 times, so cheers, everybody. That's a Michael Riley.
every episode without fail. So
Got to get at least one in. Yeah.
at least one in. So we appreciate that. But
Thank you.
that's so cool, though, that, things like that, it really shapes the memories that you have and the experiences that you have in sports. And now that has shaped who you are up to this point, even to the point that you are a host in a double E podcast, the Turf District, formerly known as the Eskimos Empire podcast. So how did that come to fruition?
Kind of funny, actually. I got into listening to podcasts in about 2009-ish. And a couple of the ones that I ended up kind of glamming onto were the BC Lions Den and what is now called Rouge Radio. I just every week it was like, oh, I'm kind of listening to my people. Like, these are people who like my game, and I get some information, and and then Tony would go off on Rouge Radio, and I'd be like, you're so wrong. And it's fine because he's a Calgary fan. But you just kind of, and then I thought, there's nothing like this for Edmonton. There isn't something, and I'd like to be able to meet other people that have this same interest that I do. And so, it was April of 2015. I sat down in the corner of my basement with a small laptop and a USB mic, and we recorded the very first episode of the Eskimo Empire podcast. It took me, I want to say, somewhere in the realm of about 4.5 hours to edit that show because I had no idea how to do it properly, and I had to take out every that I ever said, and I had to. It was fun because we had Doug was on the show with me at that point. He was the first kind of co-host. And then I met Josh, who was, he was, our boys were playing football together. So then Josh was, and then they kind of switched off being co-hosts. But then I got this message on Twitter from this guy named Mike. And he's like, are you going to be at training camp? And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm going to be out there. And he's like, oh, great. Me too. We should get a chance to meet up. And we met up, and, this is, I'm not trying to make this sound like a love story, but when you just meet somebody and you just click, like, it was just, there was so, like, we could play off one another. Of course, he has this unbelievable memory of the team that just, it always blows my mind. And so I said, at the time he was living in Victoria, and I said, if you ever move back to Edmonton, you are going to be a co-host on this show, because I can't, I just can't hold a candle to what you're doing. At the time, also my uncle, the guy that introduced me to the game, Uncle Tim, then became a regular co-host. And so we just kind of started growing. Of course, that first year was pretty good. In 2015, I was out in Winnipeg, and Mike and I spent the entire time basically together and having fun. And of course, it turned out the best way possible. Which was great. And then so the next year Mike joined in, and then it was the year after we added in Kayla. We actually had Kayla on as a guest, and it was just, as we were talking, it totally felt like siblings talking around a table. And so we still refer to it, like, I still call them my brother and sister, and then we just took off from there, and it's been like, we're almost wrapping the 11th season. It's nuts to me.
11 seasons,
crazy,
right? Like, and you guys, I remember going through like a 2016 or 2017, maybe even 2018 tailgate. You guys were handing out stickers. It was you and Mike, I believe. I think I saw Kayla as well. Back in our old tailgating spots in A, right? So it's great to see. It's great to see how you guys have evolved, moving along from a name change and all of that, moving over to the Turf District, which is a name that makes sense. And you guys have still held the number one spot for Edmonton Elks podcast, in my opinion. I mean, no disrespect to Morley or anybody else, but as far as, you know, and I mean, they are the official media, so I'm just going to put them in a class of their own.
Listen, that's
right. They're in a class of their own. I mean, they are the official media, but as far as non-official media members, which you are an official media member with 3 Down Nation, let's talk about that for a minute. You are a writer for 3 Down Nation, and you've been covering the team closely these last couple of years. I believe you've been writing now for about a year and a half for 3 Down, I want to say.
This is my coming up on the end of my 3rd year of writing for them. Yeah, so it's I started in 2022, or kind of near the end of that, and then 23, 24, and now 25. So it was a really big learning curve for me because I'm not used to writing. I don't know if you can tell, but I have no problem chatting. But I didn't do this writing thing, and but it's been kind of a nice outlet to kind of learn a bit more of how to write a sports story, and then I find that I'm able to get some of that other information that you can fill in to kind of fill in a personalized piece for some of the guys, which I like. And mostly right now I do a lot of just your game summaries. But even getting that knowledge in with that absolutely brilliant group of writers is pretty much a big privilege for me.
Oh, that's amazing. And I remember we had started up Shotgun Sports Network at around the same time, and really it doesn't feel like it's been 3 years, right? That's why I was like, what, a year and a half? Like, no, but these years have just kind of been gelling together lately. It's been fantastic to see your work out there because even Mike and I were talking about it. There hasn't been much for consistent double E writing, before yourself, SSN, anybody else that writes Elks. There's outside of your mainstream, outside of your press, your main press, there's not a whole ton of opinion pieces. There's not a whole ton of double E writing out there in general, like I said, besides Global, CBC, those guys. So you've done fantastic. You're also very timely. I noticed when you get those articles out there, and they're very informative. I mean, you've been watching this team, like you said, since Warren Moon, and you are very analytical as well. It seems like you've gotten ahead of the learning curve anyway. So, man, you love to see it now.
Well, and it also translates when you get to write about your favorite team. Right?
It does help. It does help. Yeah. Although sometimes it's like, I have to write about this again.
Although sometimes it's with a little bit of frustration and hate behind it. But that's passion. That's called passion.
That's right.
It translates into your writing. So I think being able to do that, it's that's a lot of fun.
Oh, totally. Now
it really is. And it's kind of it's surreal to me now that, I go in and I'm part of a scrum talking to the coach and the players, after practice or after a game. And even when you go down and they're like, actually, it was quite funny. I'll say this from this last game, because I had to miss the 2 home games before because I was sick. And, so I come in for after this win against Saskatchewan, and coach comes in and he's like, "Hey, you're back." I'm like, yeah. And he's like, well, we start winning and you disappear. And I'm like, oh, I didn't like, I was sick. I'm sorry. Please. And, so anyway, we had a bit of a laugh, but then, as he's leaving, he's like, Andrew, I'm just giving you the gears. I'm glad to see you're okay. And I'm glad you're back. And it's just like, I never would have thought I would have been standing in that room, much less have, that type of a conversation. And, you find that you build different rapport with different players. Jake Julian, I as soon as I saw him punting, I went to him and said, like, dude, I have never watch punting as closely as until you joined this team. Like, it's craziness. Justin Rankin is just a incredible dude who always wants to, chat and say thank you for supporting. And another one that, unfortunately we haven't been able to see as much this year, but Zach Mathis, just like a really, really good dude. And I feel like there's so much more to tell in his story that's going to be coming. And now, I mean, I have some of the guys from, 4 or 5 years ago that still like text me out of the blue, and it's just like, this is really weird but cool.
It is cool, right, to kind of be intertwined with the team in some capacity, obviously not directly working for the organization, but you still hold a piece, right? You have your little piece. The fact that you have rapport with players, it screams that you haven't been a nuisance or anything like that in any of your questions or any of your avails or even, podcasts or anything like that. And Zach Mathis, I want to say, was Jimmy Gaines Award last year?
This year. Yeah, because he came in late last year. So this was his first training camp. And our rule with the Jimmy Gaines Award is that it's the player through their first training camp that's new to the CFL. So Zach Mathis was new to the CFL, and this was his first training camp, and he 100% stood out. Last year it was O'Neill, and who made some poor choices later on. I think Mathis is like one of the Jimmy Gaines Award winner that's actually stuck around. But we have them, and we have a list, and it's always a fun little thing to do on the pod.
No, that makes sense because yes, Zach Mathis was Chris Jones' late supplemental draft pick. Which is why we did not have a draft pick in the first round this year for the CFL draft.
Correct. Yes.
Now, outside of the CFL, I do got to ask, what other teams do you cheer for?
Well, I cheer for the Oilers, and that over a number of years was a lot of a love-hate relationship, but it's gotten a little better now. So I do cheer for them. Baseball, I'm a Jays guy for as much as I watch it. I usually just watch playoffs, and so this year it's very exciting to watch playoffs with the team that I actually enjoy watching, which is great. And NFL, I kind of float, but my heart still kind of keeps going back to the Vikings. Just that was where I remember Warren playing there, and that kind of introduced me to that team, and they're purple, so they like weren't any colors of any of the teams in the CFL, so I didn't have to worry about like clashing. And so I kind of went to the Rams for a bit there just because I really like their head coach. But now I'm probably a little back more on the Minnesota train.
I love it. You're not a hardcore NFL guy, and it's funny, CFL fans, a lot of them are particular to the CFL instead of, being a hardcore fan of both or whatever. You can kind of tell where the hearts lie. I think that's kind of similar with you.
Yeah, it does tend to be that way. I like football, so I do like both. And I play, fantasy football for the NFL. But it's not like if I miss the games on Sunday, I'm not heartbroken. Yeah. Right? Like, so that's kind of how I follow the NFL.
We know where your heart is. Yeah. We know
it.
But
exactly.
Talking about that, you've been a fan for a long time, and now you have this fairly new dynamic with the team with your current position as media. But you have also seen a lot of changes, from them changing the name and struggling under the new moniker. So if you had to think about the last 5 years and how the team has changed, what would you say about the current edition of the Double E?
Oh, this is hands down the best edition of the Double E since 2018. Mm-hmm. I would go farther back even than the name change. And I was much like a lot of fans. I grew up with it being the Eskimos. That was my team. It was all these things. I had my little pity party when they changed the name. And then I moved on because I really wanted to talk about the football. And that was the biggest thing for me. And it still is. Like, if anybody brings up the name now, I'm like, no, let's talk football. That's what I love. I don't care what the name is right now. I care about, are they winning? But this particular spot, this to me feels like that rebirth. You've got people in, right from the president to the GM to the head coach, to a lot of the coaches that played here. Everybody just seems to be more pulling on the same rope. I found ever since that, like 2019, even, we thought that was going to be a huge season for Trevor Harris and all those receivers, but they didn't really stock the O-line, and we paid for it. And but it was it's that time where you started to see, okay, I don't think everybody's on the same page. And we just kept seeing that over and over and over again. There was parts that would give you hope. And you would think, okay, they've fixed this. But then you'd see whether it was Chris Jones or Brock Sunderland or Chris Presson at one point, like you just see Victor Cui, you'd see them come in and it became about that one person and not about the team. And ever since I've been a fan, it's always been about Bone, right? And the Brotherhood of Nasty Eskimos. And I felt from that 2019 season, it was just like, this is disappearing. And they changed the name, and the leadership at the time tried to basically disappear all of the history. And to me, that was insulting. It was an affront, because that's what I loved. And so, I mean, that's what got me to where I am now. So now I see all of these people who have been connected to the team, who love the team, who love the city, who understand that it's more, and I know everybody's going to make fun of me for saying this, but it is about more than winning. It is about community people. It is about respecting the fan base. It is about, yes, winning football is important, but also giving you something to cheer about and make that clan feel. That's what sports is about. This is my clan. And I feel like this group is the closest to what I remember this team being for a very long time.
Well, and I think the other thing too is knowing that there's competent people that are respected in Double E lore and in the city of Edmonton for multiple reasons, right? Like Chris Morris did his thing with the U of A Golden Bears on top of already being a Grey Cup champion with the Double E. Ed Hervey, who donned the helm for quite a while at GM, won a championship as GM, was wrongfully dismissed, as some people like to put it, right? But this team does feel like it's going in the right direction.
Well, what I find really interesting is that for as long as I've been watching this team, every single year we have sat down and you have told me, this team looks really good on paper. Yeah. They have the pieces, but then there's always something missing that, like you say, it just doesn't click. There's something that doesn't take them to that point that you're starting to see now, that chemistry, that trust, that competency in a way, because they're trusting each other and they know that they can play a full game with three faces instead of each player in their own little island. Right. So it's really, really nice to see that now it's no longer just about the names on paper, but it's also how they're all coming together. Yeah.
Well, and I think all levels, like I said, I think they're all pulling at the same direction. I think that before we had, a head coach that didn't agree with the GM, or the GM and head coach that didn't, want to listen to the defensive guy, or you know what I mean? Like, it just seemed like there was always that one person that kind of had to be running the show, instead of now we've got, three minds at least that seem like they're all going the same direction. And I mean, I've been lucky enough to have a podcast now as Ed Hervey with the GM twice. And I remember the first time around, and it was a rough go, like as far as being a media person. But after that wrongful dismissal, it I don't know what else to put it, but after that happened, that year the Grey Cup was in Ottawa, and I was on Radio Row, and Ed Hervey came in, and it was one of the best football conversations I've ever had. And it was like 45 minutes just sitting. It was all off the record, so that's fine. But we just chatted. And now every time I see Ed, he's like, "Hey, how's it going?" And he doesn't pull punches. Like, he just tells me what's going on, and it's like, this is amazing. And so now I see, like, he learned from. I've seen the progression of Ed Hervey to see where he learned from that first stint, and now how he's approaching this to really worry about where is the character of the team. And no one, from the top to the bottom, it's not about one guy. It'll never be about one guy. And to me, that's what this team is about.
Yeah, no, and you could even tell, like, you and I were there at training camp, and the fact that Ed held his hand out for a handshake, like I was just going to do a fist bump or something. I was intimidated. Anytime you talk to Ed Hervey, man, I'm sure you can attest, Andrew, it's a little bit intimidating. But
it can be, yeah. I think we're at a different place now where we're a little more comfortable. So even when he came here last year and he was with Hamilton, we were standing outside we had done the media, and we were standing outside, and he coming over, and he's like, "Hey, how's it going, Andrew?" And I'm like, "Ed, hi." And so then, and we were talking about kind of where the team was at, and all these types of things. And it was just like, it's like, okay, I never in my life thought I'd regularly be having a conversation with Ed Hervey. And not like this. Like, I thought I'd be in trouble if that was the case. But yeah, it's crazy how much, and it's awesome to see how much he's grown, and how much I love listening to him talk about football. Yeah. I will never get tired of it, because his perspective is it's just so unbelievable to me, how much he knows, and how much he knows how to find a guy and then say, "I'm going to put you on this team, and this is where you're going to have success." And he's just, in my opinion, he's brilliant at it.
Here are the marching orders, march. That's
in a way, yeah, but I don't even know that he does that. I think it's just kind of like, well, this is what we're going to do. And if you don't want to do that, then
dinner on Delta.
Correct. Yeah. Here's an apple and a roadmap. Thanks for coming. Right. He told me at training camp, actually, it was really funny. He said he had one guy that wasn't doing what they were supposed to do. And he said, "You know what I did? I just went and put my arm around him and said, 'So today you're going home. And I'd like you to know that it's, this was not a choice that I made. It has nothing to do with your on field. It has everything to do with, I asked you to do this and you're not doing it. So thanks for being here. Appreciate it. And I'll just walk you out." That's the end. Like, there's he just doesn't take any bullcrap, which is awesome.
I love it.
That's right. Just as a little side note on all of that, the one thing that I really appreciate about this team is how you always find yourself in very approachable situations with players and management and coaches and people that work at the store and anybody in the organization, how you can find yourself having a conversation with any of them at any given time. And it's not awkward. It feels comfortable. It feels homey.
Natural.
Like I could never imagine with a larger organization like the Oilers and being able to have that kind of relationship with anybody that is part of the team. And here,
that's fair. Yeah,
you can. And that's what I personally really, really love about CFL and football. And
it's a little more wholesome, right? Like, I mean,
100%.
with NHL players, I think that $1 million gap plays a role, right? Like the millions of dollars in hierarchy and everything else.
It shouldn't.
It shouldn't, but I mean, I think it kind of does. But at the same time, I think that especially here in Edmonton, players are usually good with fans and whatnot, which is nice. But it's not the same as CFL players. Like even around my work, I went into a store today and I saw 2 Edmonton Elks. One of them was one of the D-backs that we just signed the other day. Gavin. Forget his last name off the top.
Oh, the one like we just signed?
Yeah.
Gavin Callum, I think. Anyway, yeah. I'm sure we'll find it. Anyway.
Well, we're going to talk about it. Kazi and I will on the Herd Report. But kind of getting back to this season, obviously we know 3 games left. There's a bit of a playoff push. How are you feeling about the Edmonton Elks' odds to make it into the playoffs? And what do you think the critical drivers are for their success right now?
Wow, that's a loaded question.
Loaded.
Look at you and the hard-hitting questions. I was not prepared for this. I think obviously the biggest thing right now, like they have to control what they can control, which is that they have to win their last 3 games. So very, very tough thing to do. But I think the kind of linchpin that we'll see is this coming Saturday, right? If they can beat Winnipeg, especially if they can beat Winnipeg by at least 14 and have that season series, I think that makes that increases the chances of a playoff picture of some kind enormously, right? I think we all agree that we would love to have that last game against Calgary be win and you're in for either team. I think that would be amazing, especially because it's at Commonwealth. It's even better. But I think the drivers for them to get there is some consistent play. And they are going to have to, in the 4th quarter, they are going to have to learn to play aggressively. We cannot be settling for field goals from the 12-yard line with 3 minutes left in a game or 2 minutes left in a game, or honestly, even a minute left in the game. You got to push. And I think that's one of the things that they're really going to have to work on. I'm curious to see kind of coming out of this bye week if that actually helps them to continue to kind of set that up. Winnipeg's coming off the bye too, but somebody just hit Caleras, and then we're fine. Fine.
Caleras, yeah. Well, and I like the point that you make, right? Obviously, this is trending the direction of a Battle of Alberta showdown for winning in. And the Edmonton Elks at max have 1 loss, and even then, it can't be to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. So, this is getting really tight. It's getting a little bit sweaty, like we mentioned earlier. So, I would like to acknowledge here in the Herd Chat, Klima's lid, Taylor Cornelius was a rough go in reference to
that's fair.
the last couple of years. Yeah,
that was a rough go. Yeah,
I don't know. At the end, I was enjoying Cornelius in short yardage quite a bit. He was doing well.
Totally agree. And I think that's the role that he should have had. The thing is that Taylor's a good dude. Nice guy, but he never had that veteran to help teach him the game. He kind of just was thrown in and be like, hey, just play football. And he's like, yeah, there's an extra guy. What is going on? I don't think it was, he wasn't set up for success. Let's just put it that way.
Coming in from the XFL at that, I think he was also part of the Jamie Elizondo year.
He sure was. Yeah.
So, you take a look at that, and then the fact that he was basically told to be the veteran for Trey Ford, who, I'm not going to say blind leading the blind because these are both football gentlemen, but you're rookie trying to lead rookie as a veteran. What planet will that work on?
That's right. Nice reference. Exactly. That is, it just didn't happen. Right. And I think when his time came, it was like, okay, we can see where your role is. It's in short yardage. You can he was so tall. I mean, he just hut and go like that, and it's a first down. Like he's enormous. Unfortunately, we haven't seen him still up here, but I mean, but you wouldn't want to see him as a starter. That's the thing. So
yeah, and he already made that starter money at some point. It's to try to fight his way back into it when things didn't exactly go your way round one with the double E in the CFL. And I mean, like you said, right, it'd be great to see him up here in some capacity. I just hope that he plays somewhere. Or finds a coaching gig, or just success in general, right? Taylor Cornelius's parents and Mrs. were also great people.
Not gonna lie, once in a while, I'm like, oh, I wonder what he's doing.
Exactly. See, I do that with Dean. So that is one of the guys that I'm lucky enough that I consider him I should say mate, as much as I do a football player, but we every now and again will just like text each other, and it's like this is very cool. He's just a genuinely good guy. So
totally. Dean Faithful's awesome stuff.
And you could tell by the fan base too. Like even though he wasn't necessarily the best that we have seen, people still wanted him back. And what does that say, right? That just speaks to his character. So
absolutely.
No, totally. Now, we do have only a couple more here for you, Andrew. Know that we're taking up your time, so it's a great chat, though. That's what happens.
I've been there. Yeah, it's like, wow, that hour went by quickly. Holy cow! Okay, yeah,
that's exactly what's happening here. One of the best parts of Double E game day, especially here in Edmonton, has been the tailgate. The Turf District and company has a great contingent of fans that park all in the similar area there facing Clark. Now, what are your thoughts on the rise of football tailgating in Edmonton over these last 9 years, I want to say?
Yeah, so it's interesting. It's a great question to ask me, because beforehand I was like, oh, tailgating, really? Like, this is just a drunk fest before a game, and
you're Americanizing our sport.
Whatever. Like, this is whatever. And then Mike's like, you should check it out. I'm like, okay. And then we decided, okay, we'll do this. We'll do it as kind of a promo for the podcast, but we can also, we can talk about the tailgate, and that I want to say 2022. It was just the year that it was like, okay, this feels totally different. This feels like a real event before the event. And, I've been very lucky in the fact that Mike kind of handles the menu and says, okay, Andrew, I need you to bring this, this, and this. Perfect. That's easy for me. And he has all the big ideas, and away we go. But it's really now become, especially when we had the tough seasons, it became the reason to go to the game. Is you go to the tailgate and have just a great time, and then whatever happens in the game, I had a great time. I was there at the tailgate. And so now that they're winning, it's just like, wow, we can just keep the excitement going, and I love the ability to bring people together to talk football, have a beer, have some food, do some of the fun stuff that we've been able to do with you guys and some other spots. And I think that just brings the community together even more, and it just raises the level of excitement before in a game. So I now love it
110%. And Kathy kind of came into Double E fandom as strictly an Elks fan. She missed the Eskimos years, but but Kathy came right into tailgate. And her and I used to just stand out there in any empty stall.
That was the 2021
and 2022, right? Because 2022 we were doing What's Cooking, and then 23 we got a tailgate spot. So we've been tailgating for 3 years as opposed to your 9. But you're right, 2022, that's where it started to pick up. And I think it was word of mouth. It was one of those things where People are taking pictures. People are kind of celebrating it. We jumped on board, promoted the heck out of it. And it's the organic fan-made, fan-built, and fan-maintained aspect of it. I think that I really love. Like, I mean, you and I are going to be talking a little bit more later on off air about other things in regards to the tailgate. But like, one of the big ones that you guys are a part of and ourselves been kind of presenting this together now for the last 3 years. This is the 3rd annual coming up, the Tailgate Chili Cookoff. And, it's kind of cool to break down those walls and have other people venture to other side of the tailgate, to have random people come in. I think it's really special that the Turf District, the Elks Herd, get to execute this amazing event every year and to break down those barriers even more. Saturday is going to be another edition.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. And again, it's Mike makes the chili every year, and I'm just like, ooh, yummy. Great. I'm always on bun duty, and that's perfectly fine. By bun and cheese, okay, I'm easy with that. That's great.
That's totally fine. That's usually my role as well.
Good. Okay.
And then one day he walked away and told me to look after the barbecue, and I forgot because I never do, and all the hot dogs burned.
Oh no.
Maybe that was just my way of being like, you can never trust me with this. So
yeah, you should. Yeah, it's just making sure that he never asks you again. Well done. That's good.
That's a move, yeah.
Yeah, it was. But I love the chili cook-off. I wasn't sure how it was actually going to go the first year, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, no, there's people coming to actually check this out, so that's good. And then of course last year, with the judges going around, that was cool because, well, I mean, I knew some of them, which was great, but there's others that, you're like, oh, you're judging. Okay, great. And here, try this. And this is cool. So I really like that. And the ability for us to work together and then to, have a winner, and the winner isn't one of us. Like, it's just, it's somebody who's there, who put in their effort for their chili for that particular year. And so I think it's a blast, and I'm very excited for Saturday. And if you haven't plugged it already, then 2:00, be there, be part of the chili cook-off, because it's fun.
Yes, yeah, it'll be a very exciting. It's always fun, and it's always so much fun. You end up exhausted by the end of it because you talk to so many people, and there's so many faces, and everybody's having a blast. So I can't wait. It's going to be lots of fun.
Well, and this is one of those events too that the game, I mean, depending on the time of year, depending on playoff implications, I think in years past, the games haven't mattered as much. So it's like the big event before a smaller event sometimes.
Listen, it's going to be a little chilly out there. So some nice chili before you
go
in.
Outside. Let's go.
To keep you warm. It's the best thing to do.
Oh, no, totally.
Amazing.
We will not keep you much longer here, Andrew. We do have some.
Oh, sure. I've heard that before. No, I'm kidding. Carry on.
Yeah, exactly. Just heard it a couple minutes ago. Pierre does say Chili Cook-Off rocks. Pierre will be a judge for this. We will have a judges table system this year, so we're going to see if that works a little bit better. And of course, strictly 1 ounce portions for our judges this year, as we had some complaints about not necessarily flatulence, but definitely sore guts. So, and yes, Commonwealth, luckily it's open air, baby.
I'm smart. I just eat Mike's, and that way then I don't have a problem when I have to do media after the game. That would be a bad, I'm good that way. Yeah. I let the judges do all the judging parts.
That's fair. And I mean, just so people know, we decided to do it at our stall this time instead of having them go around, because some judges were getting lost or talking to people, and by the time that they made it to competitors' chilies, the chili was gone. So we definitely don't want to run into that situation. We have it a little bit more organized. We do have Gordon here in the chat asking if we have maps ready for the entries so we can find them. We'll be putting out maps throughout the tailgate so that they can see them, and then we will have them in our stalls. Your stall, Andrew, as well. I'll give you some so that everybody has a map and everybody can kind of figure out where the chilies are at.
And of course, at the Elks Herd everywhere on social media, we will be posting the virtual version of it as well. So check us out at the Elks Herd to make sure you find the map. Prediction, Andrew, this weekend. What do you think? Elks Call.
Oh man. You know what? I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to be optimistic because that's what we need to be. Do you want a score or what do you want?
Sure. Give us a rough score here.
All right, then. I'm going to say Elks 32 and Bombers 18.
Oh, we got to hit the horn for that one.
That's the 14 points we need to win the season series.
Yes, thank you for the
Half.
tiebreaker. 32 to 18, you said, or 19?
Yeah, that's what 18. That's tiebreaker, and then I expect newly signed Justin Rankin to have a big game in this one.
Player to watch as per the Edmonton Elks. So great pick, Andrew. I think for player to watch because I think I also had player to watch in there. So that was great, man. Read my mind before I could even get it out. Where can our viewers and listeners find you online, Andrew?
Yes, well, you can find me at Freepalicious, and that's where all the 3 down articles get posted. So check it out there, and I know, just put Freep, you'll find me. It's easy. And then the show is at the Turf District. That's what it is on all the different socials. So join us there, and of course we record live just like you guys, but we do Tuesday nights at 7:30. So join us and be part of the fun and games that we have over there. Huddle up with us is what we say.
Huddle up. Join the huddle. I love it.
That's right.
I love it. Turf District, it's a fantastic show. 11 seasons, about to wrap up that 11th. Yourself, Mike, and Kayla do fantastic work. And if anybody here is listening or watching the Elks Call, you have to go check out the Turf District if you haven't already. So, Andrew, man, we cannot thank you enough for your time tonight. Always a great chat, man. And we will be seeing you on Saturday for that Edmonton Elks Tailgate Chili Cookoff.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, guys. And hey, you know what? Before I go, thanks for all the hard work you guys do. The chili cook-off is only a small piece of the ton of work that you guys do. And you were talking about it, Scout, when we first talked about doing a podcast, and I know the amount of work it takes to do a good podcast, and you guys do that. So thanks for doing that, because the more times that we can have people together that are cheering green and gold, all the better.
Yeah.
Thank you. It takes a village, and Kathy is a lot of the back end and the things that I'm a face, man. I'm a face. A lot of the heavy lifting.
I always say that he's the unofficial mascot of the fandom of the Edmonton Elks because his face is everywhere. I will. Fair. I'll take the back end. I'll do the other work.
But just like Mike is your chef over there in the tailgate stall, same deal. Kathy is my partner in this. So it takes a village. You guys do fantastic. It takes all of you there to make what the Turf District is, and you love to see it. Couldn't be more thankful to have you guys as friends, as partners in events and whatnot in the tailgate, and of course, with what you do with CFL Fans Fight Cancer as well. You guys are great. You're awesome, Andrew. We always love chatting with you guys. We'll be sure to have Mike and Kayla on the show as well, and we'll be doing this again sometime. But until then, we have an amazing chili cook-off to have some fun with here on Saturday. So, man, we'll let you get some rest. Once again, can't thank you enough, and we will check you on Saturday.
Sounds good. See you on Saturday.
Cheers, man. Go Elks.
Night. There you go.
And that was Andrew Hoskins of the Turf District. Great guy. Mm-hmm. Awesome combo. One of those guys, you could just keep drumming it up, and
yeah,
you could talk all night with Andrew. It's great. Big shout out to Andrew Hoskins for joining us tonight. That is of the Turf District and a partner in the 2025 Edmonton Elks Tailgate Chili Cookoff, which we're going to be talking about here again in just a minute. It'd be nice to go over a couple rules and whatnot, but before that, we have a couple of giveaways. What do you know? First giveaway we'd like to do is a pair of Party Deck tickets.
Party Deck.
Party deck tickets. This is
Wow.
courtesy of our friend Klima's Lid, who is here in the herd chat. Party deck tickets. Great guy. Can't thank you enough, Klima's Lid. If you would like to enter for 2 party deck tickets to the Edmonton Elks versus Winnipeg Blue Bombers game on Saturday, go ahead and text GOLD to 780-307-7779. Right up here. Once again, that's text GOLD. Text GOLD to 780-307-7779 to get your entry in for a pair of party deck tickets. Winner will be chosen basically by the end of the night. Tomorrow morning, winner will be contacted. So don't delay. Don't wait around on this one. Get your text in, and we will get you entered into the draw.
Yeah.
No skill testing question, which is apparently something we're supposed to do. I learned that one today, which is interesting. And then later on, we will be announcing the winner of the Tailgate Pass.
Yes.
So we do have a winner selected for the Tailgate Pass. We will be announcing that one, I believe, right before Green or Gold, I believe. So everybody stay tuned. But next up, we do have a very important and a very chock full Kathy's Herd Report, where we talk about recent news, transactions, and everything else. Today's Herd Report is brought to you by the Rouge, White, and Blue podcast. Oz and Joe have you covered on the latest happenings in the CFL from across multiple borders. Rouge, White, and Blue, American Soccer, Canadian Football, only on Shotgun Sports Network. All right, Kathy. Last win was for Larry.
Yeah. It was a wild game, and I'm glad that it ended the way that it did, especially for Larry. So
For Larry.
I think it would have hurt. It would have been a way worse loss if it had been a loss during that game. So I'm glad that they made it happen, even though it was a little close, a little too close.
A little too close for comfort, I think.
But let's talk about this game. Let's start with the first quarter. It was a great start. Edmonton managed a single point of a deep punt by Jake Julian, giving them an early 1-0 lead, like very early. I think we were still outside of the stadium when that happened.
Just getting in there. Most valuable Rouge, and also one of the last great Rouges you're going to see.
I love it because every single time Jake Julian opens up the game, not every single time, but a lot of times, he opens up the game with a Rouge, and it's just, I think the last time I think it was Hamilton that they opened up the game with a Rouge, I was like, no, that's our job. That's our thing.
That's our thing.
Don't take our thing.
Don't take Jake's gig here. Come on. Those are our Rouges.
Might as well enjoy them before they're gone.
Stop.
So that's that. But anyways, this was sorry, I'm like trying to figure out exactly where I am.
Well, Trevor Harris was intercepted in this game
right there,
times,
right? Yeah, right there. It was followed by him being intercepted not once, but twice in quick succession. First, it was by Kenny Lowen Jr., and then it was fumbled. They recovered it, and then he was sacked again by Brock Moggensen.
Yeah.
So
Mogensen.
that was an interesting series of events, and I mean, despite the chaos, neither side really capitalized on the points. Both defenses held firm near midfield.
Yeah, it's a positional battle, right?
Yeah,
so
that's pretty much what it was, but it was still an interesting start to a game.
And really, it was on Saskatchewan shooting themselves in the foot in that first quarter. That really gave the Edmonton Elks an opportunity in the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Because what happens if Saskatchewan goes up 2 touchdowns real quick in that first quarter? I don't think we see the same game. And Herd Chat, please do let us know what you think. Throw your comments and questions in there. We do see a Klima's Lid, Charlie Defoe, Gordon Wiggins. Appreciate you guys being in there tonight and everybody that's tuning in or listening. But let us know what you think. Do you think that this game would have been a disaster for the Elks if the Saskatchewan Roughriders score early in the game.
Oh, 100%. I think so. And I think another thing, it goes both ways, because I do remember going down to our seats and you saying, I want to see Trevor Harris sack, because as soon as he is sacked, he loses composure and things go south for Saskatchewan. So I think we missed those 2 first sacks and we didn't know that that had happened already. But it's one of those things. It goes both ways. You lose composure. You just, that momentum that you had is gone.
Yeah.
So definitely, I think it was in our favor that that happened so early in the game. Later in the quarter, another fumble near Edmonton's red zone ended a promising drive by Saskatchewan. So that's, their things are not going so great for them at that point. It was recovered again by Kenny Logan Jr., and Cody Fajardo responded with a late quarter push, connecting with Justin Rankin and Benjamin Victor, and a last-second push by Snyder for a first down.
Yeah.
So at least we ended it in a good note.
Well, and Benjamin Victor, too. Like, this is a player that I've been watching because obviously our good friend Ryan Messer of Shotgun Sports Network Alabama, he had covered him last year. We had mentioned this on the show previously. So Benjamin Victor is one of those players that I want to see catch more balls. I want to see him targeted more. He hasn't really let the team down as far as drops go. Now, 50-50 ball, I think that's going to be more of a deciding factor on if he gets more targets, right? Because we need those guys that jump up and get that ball. We need more of those passes, those riskier passes, and we need them to go our way. I can't win with vanilla offense all the time. And I do think that this offense in this game was a bit more sophisticated, but I still think it's a little bit vanilla.
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, and it's a good thing that we did see a few more plays by other receivers as well, and not just your usual Justin Rankin rushes, right? So that was good to see. Going into the second quarter, Vincent Blanchard opened the scoring with a 47-yard field goal right after Cody Fajardo connected with Curly Gittens Jr. for a 31-yard gain. It set up the attempt and it was successful. So that was, opening up a quarter with that was great, of course. There was an unfortunate sack right beforehand with a loss of 13 yards, but thankfully Blanchard was able to put more points on the board. So, I mean, one of those things, you never want to see a sack, especially for a loss of so many yards, but he made it happen because we were so close.
Well, and the sacks are going down for the Edmonton Elks. Like, Cody Fajardo knows what he's working with now on that offensive line, right?
Yes. Well, in the Elks, I think they also got a bit lucky during this game, which is something to remember and consider, especially going into the Winnipeg game. They had Saskatchewan had a 50-yard field goal attempt by Brett Lothar. It sailed wide. Yeah. So a little bit of luck right there. It was recovered by Javon Leake and returned 37 yards. See, these are the plays that I'm going to miss. Yeah. Like, once those field goals move back, there is not going to be any return.
Yeah. Next year, as far as, missed field goals go, next year will be the last year that we see those types of plays. So it'll be interesting to see how that looks, right? I'm not excited for it, but
and yeah, like, how exciting is it? Because it's one of those things. If you have a missed field goal, it's like, yeah, you suck, man. And here's this extra thing that can happen, which is, a receiver or whoever, the returner can bring the ball back so many yards. Like, that, to me, it adds to the excitement instead of missing a field goal and being like, yeah, you suck, man, and then the play is dead.
Yeah, like it just and then the ball gets turned over at that spot, right? It's very anticlimactic in that sense.
Very.
Klimaslid does say how big were Lothar's field goal misses. I mean, they were massive. You needed that in order to win this game, I think.
Well, and that's just it. It was luck. So that's how you know that this team for sure is getting better. They're not quite there yet, because if they hadn't gotten lucky, where would we be?
Hey, sometimes you gotta
take it.
You gotta be good to get lucky sometimes too in this sport, right?
But yes, late in the quarter, the Elks finally found the end zone. Fajardo hit Keon Julian Grant on a 47-yard bomb to the 1-yard line. And short yardage specialist Cole Snyder punched it in to give Edmonton their first touchdown of the night. Blanchard's convert kick extended the Elks' lead, but Saskatchewan answered before halftime with a successful 44-yard field goal as the time expired.
Lothar finally got one,
Yeah. 44. So this is so bad. But the half closed with Edmonton leading 11-3.
Which this game could have been Saskatchewan leading 14-11.
Yeah.
Really. Lucky that the Edmonton Elks were able to shut them out of that. Lucky for the fumbles. Lucky for, like a very, very fortunate plays in this first half.
Yes. Maybe we'll look at some of the comments here before we move to the second quarter.
Let's do that.
We do have Clemens Lead saying Julian's punting made a huge difference in field position.
Yeah.
They always do.
Yeah.
It's always really exciting to see Jake Julian punt.
Especially because he can nail a coffin corner.
Mm-hmm. Gordon over here, the game was CFL, and that Rouge ended up meaning so much. Memories of Hank Alsek.
Yeah.
So, Pierre over here in the chat says it was a very hard hitting game from the Elks in all three phases. We brought some hurt to Saskatchewan.
Well, and you could tell, like, those players were playing passionate. The hits were heavy. Special teams did a good job. Offense, they found Pater when they needed it. Like, when I do my three thoughts, and I know we're going to get to the rest of the game here, but when I do my three thoughts post, I don't like singling out players.
Yeah.
Because I don't like coming down on one specific player when it's a team sport. So I talk in phases. And for these last few games, really, it's Elks find Pater when they need to. They're not perfect. They're not a high-flying offense right now. No. They have moments. They have spurts. They have bursts. They have Rankin breakout plays. They have the odd long bomb. Keon Julian Grant shows up. Like, there's no one particular player, I guess, outside of Justin Rankin and really Cody Fajardo as well on that offense. Besides those two, nobody else is really shining that bright.
Yeah.
There's players that are getting big chunks and big pieces in rotation, so to speak, right? Or at different times. So I think that the team definitely showed up. I think they played for Larry. There's no doubts about that. I think it was a very passionate day, a very passionate game. And the second half was everything.
Well, yeah, I mean, the second it had to be. It's one of those that you go into the second half with the lead and you're like, no, I don't trust this at all. Especially going into the third quarter, because usually the second half of the game is where things kind of start going south a little bit. And I mean, we did have, I think it was a 0 point third quarter. So nobody on the Elks scored. We didn't score. So technically it was still not the greatest, but at least we held them to a point. The third quarter opened up with Saskatchewan pushing hard to close the gap, but was limited by penalties and yet another missed 55-yard field goal. So crazy that there was another missed field goal right there. On the answering drive, Cody Fajardo connected with Curly Giddens Jr. and Vince Medvictor once again to move the chains before stalling near midfield. Midway through the quarter, the Rough Riders ground game became alive behind AJ Ouellette, who rushed in for their first touchdown of the night, though they did fail the 2-point attempt.
And we'll talk about another critical one later on.
Yes. I mean, the Elks responded with conservative drives. Neither team really found the end zone again. We walked away with a 0-point quarter.
Yeah.
Which is not ideal, especially going into the fourth quarter when things really got stressful. Edmonton opened the frame with a close call and a fumble review before Saskatchewan capitalized on their next possession. They drived into a field goal range for a 30-yarder from Lowther. The Elks did answer it in a big way, however, with Cody Fajardo connecting with Keon Julian Grant on a deep ball to set a 37-yard touchdown run from Justin Rankin. We also missed the 2-point conversion, though. And the Riders were quickly stifled on their next drive, punting after a sack by Edmonton's Elijah Alston.
You go, Elijah.
So, yeah. Edmonton's offense continued to click. They had another long drive, capped by Rankin's second rushing touchdown of the quarter and a comeback kick by Blanchard. So it was a high excitement type of quarter over here, especially with Saskatchewan refusing to fade and Trevor Harris leading a rapid response drive that ended with a 24-yard touchdown and a successful comeback with a bit over 2 minutes left on the clock.
And then this is where it got super sweaty.
Oh my gosh.
It got super sweaty.
We have seen this before. We know that sometimes, especially when they're not doing the best time management,
especially when it's the Elks,
they have a hard time closing these games. Fajardo fired right back. He completed a 42-yard strike to set up a field goal by Vincent Blanchard. Like Andrew said, as long as we can get a field goal, really. They reclaimed the lead with under a minute left. You know, I would have preferred to have seen a much longer drive, perhaps. Some really good time management, but it is what it is, and that's what we ended up with.
Yes.
And Trevor Harris, he engineered one last drive in the dying seconds. He found Johnson twice, and he was aided by an offside penalty from Edmonton at the most horrible time to reach the goal line for a touchdown as the time expired. They decided to go for the 2-point conversion and missed it, which is the only reason why the game did not go into overtime, and the Elks came out victorious with a 2-point lead.
27-25, crazy game.
Oh, it's like way too close. Way too close.
It was wild. And I mean, we had some good Saskatchewan fans behind us for once. I think there's a couple Elks fans in there too. We had brought the boys. Boys got to see, our little herd got to see another win, which was great. But just the stress. And I don't remember the last time I had been a part of a game, got to watch a game, where it comes down to the defense needing to shut down a 2-point conversion. Yeah. I off the top of my head, I don't remember the last time I watched something.
It was stressful. Like I was like, I swear to God, if we go into overtime,
lose mine. We've just seen it so much in Commonwealth Stadium too, where the game comes down to the final 2 minutes. Elks blow it. It comes down to a critical moment like this, and once again, the Elks blow it.
And so many different opportunities from both sides. Yeah. So Gordon over here in the chat, he says, if the Riders had scored once, it would have been shaky. And if they had scored a second time or things went flat for both, it would have been walking in wet clay.
Yeah.
Right? It's like there were mistakes on both sides, and any of those tiny little mistakes could have cost either the game at that point.
It was a very lucky win for the Edmonton Elks. I mean, I do think that the passion of the team helped bring them over a hump. I don't know which hump exactly it is because, like I said, luck had a lot to do with this one. Maybe Larry was watching over the stadium that night. I don't know, but I will say...
He blew those... field goals away.
Yeah, that was him blowing Brett Lother's boots away, right? Yeah, I mean, offense by committee, like Pierre says here in the herd chat as well. Yeah, I mean, and then of course you won't get lucky. This is from Gordon. You probably won't get lucky with the Bombers missing kicks. Our guy doesn't blow many.
Yeah. Well,
there's a joke in there, but what I would say is, that's Sergio Castillo. That's Sergio.
On, I know that, who was it? Charlie did ask who my best Bomber player is, and if I was to pick somebody, it would be Sergio Castillo.
There you go.
Just because I love his field goal song.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes, I do remember that. But I mean, he did struggle last time.
He was struggling. Well, he has good days. He has good games. He has bad games. More good games than bad games lately. But
see what the wind is like here on Saturday. We're gonna check the weather report here. But I believe we've also had some transactions here recently. What do we got?
No transactions. We didn't have any since the last time that we were here.
There was.
Was there?
There was.
Oh, did I not say them?
Because Dave Campbell.
Well, just bear with me over here. I can pull them up. Right away. Okay, so transactions. The last ones that I see were on September 24th, which is when we had our episode. So I assumed that I had talked about these. We signed American wide receiver TJ Luther and released American wide receiver JJ Jones.
Winds of 21 kilometers per hour. So some moderate wind on Saturday, and that will actually stay true through the game. So 21 kilometers per hour for wind.
Yeah. Nice.
There is, because we just signed 2 guys. I don't know why it's
Was
not
it
updated.
today?
No.
Well, it's not on the website. So
I will bring it up one moment.
while you're bringing it up, there are some injuries as of today, as per Dave Campbell. Nick Anderson, he is questionable right now because of an abdominal injury. Jared Brinkman, he's also questionable. Tamari Fox, he's questionable due to an ankle injury. TJ Luther is out, and he just came in due to a hamstring injury. Ativa Maga Clements is questionable due to a hamstring injury, and Robbie Smith questionable as well due to an ankle injury.
Did you see what the Elks did with this? It's all questionable. There are no answers there. It's all game time.
Do you know? You don't know.
You don't
Winnipeg doesn't know.
You don't know. It is all game time decisions. So we will find out who's injured and who's not on the depth chart tomorrow. Now that will most likely be an 11 a.m. release, so stay tuned to the Edmonton Elks socials for that. The 2 players that were just added a couple days ago, American wide receiver Justin McGriff, and American defensive back Gavin Holmes. Gavin Holmes is who I saw today.
They're not up in the transactions list just yet, so thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, no problem.
But yeah, what's next? Saturday, October 11th, we have at 5 p.m. We're going against Winnipeg Blue Bombers for their campus clash.
Campus clash, big one.
There are student tickets, food, and drink specials, a chance to win a trip to Cancun, and a student after party at O'Byrne's in the Ice District.
Do I got to take something on Nate to enter in on this?
Well, I don't know. Like, I'm taking my MBA. I'm a student. Can I?
NBA All-Star.
I'm a student.
Oh, MBA. That's right. MBA.
EMBA. I'm a student. Can I put in my name for a trip to Cancun? That'd be good.
I like it. I also like Cleveland's Lid's comment here in the herd chat. McGriff the crime dog. Which, McGruff. I love it. Maybe we're going to call McGriff Crime Dog now.
There you go.
Yes. Much like Popular Blue Jay
that
as well. This game coming up. This game coming up. It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one for the Edmonton Elks. I will just say straight up Tyrell Ford for a player to watch in this one. Reason why, obviously, he's playing his former team. So I think that would be a good feel-good story. I'd like to see a Tyrell Ford interception. That's what I want to see. Offensive side of the ball, I think Justin Rankin is a pretty safe bet as per what Andrew Hoskins had mentioned for his player to watch in this upcoming Bombers versus Elks game. Yeah, I mean, offensive side, I'm just going to say Benjamin Victor. I want to see him do something. I want to see him do something big in this one.
For me, it's going to be Cody Fajardo.
You're watching Fajardo.
Yeah. I want him to not get sacked. I want him to throw the ball away instead of holding onto the ball for way too long.
Well, offensive line against Winnipeg's defensive line.
Yes.
Willie Jefferson and company. We've had I feel like it was a year ago when we had this conversation. Earlier on in the season. Sorry.
At the same time, I think you're starting to notice a little bit of that. I don't know if it's lack of confidence or I don't know what it was, but there were a few times in the past few games that Fajardo was holding on to the ball for way too long.
Totally.
And it had nothing to do with the O-line. That was just his preference, I think. I'm not sure what he was waiting for. Maybe he didn't have a clear sight of what his target was or something. But right now, it's gotten to that point that you cannot afford to do that. So get him to play aggressive, play clean, make snap decisions that he needs to make. And that's what I want to see.
Well, one of the biggest keys to the game is do not take penalties.
Yes.
Because this team is going to be overly amped up. This team is going to be fighting for their playoff lives on Saturday.
Mhm.
Don't take penalties in the process. Don't shoot yourselves in the foot. Play clean football, play
Mhm.
good football, play 4 quarters,
Mhm.
play 3 phases. And
Well,
I mean, that's
when
way easier said than done.
When I
but-
say aggressive football, I don't mean mean football. I mean
No,
you,
but
you
don't-
go for it. on
don't
the
play
offensive.
prevent in the
Yes.
fourth quarter, just like
Yeah,
Andrew was saying earlier.
100%.
This team needs to learn to be aggressive in the fourth quarter and really
Mm-hmm.
put their foot on the neck of their
Yeah.
opposition. The Edmonton Elks struggle game over game. And even in this last one, the Edmonton Elks, they played a little bit of prevent. They did not play as aggressive as they could have.
Mhm. I agree. I like what Game Day Baby over here says on the chat. I want the OC to open up the playbook.
Yeah.
Why not? This is all or nothing time. You either win or you lose. Why not really bring out some trick plays?
Well,
why not make things interesting and fun?
I like what Dave Campbell said. No
Mhm.
sweeps, no swings. You know, this is even the running side of the playbook, the rushing side of the playbook is a little bit vanilla as well. Like you can just tell that this playbook is not developed as it should have. We are not seeing trick plays. We are not seeing.
I want to see a trick play so bad.
Yeah.
Ever since that Cornelius to who was
AC
it?
Leonard twice.
Ever since that, I'm like, I want to see something. I want to see
2023.
something, and we haven't.
No, and I mean, I don't think the confidence is there yet either. I think that's the other problem is that the
We're in
chemistry and the confidence.
We're
isn't
in
quite
garbage
there.
time.
Not yet.
No, we are
Not
at
yet.
this point. Like, if they
No.
lose another one, do
Then
they have
you have-
another loss in them?
We're going to talk about that later
Okay,
on. We're going to
we'll
talk about that. Everybody stay tuned for the fan forum because I did see some questions in here, I believe from Pierre. I want to say, I saw one in there. So we got some questions in the herd chat. We usually bring those ones up in the fan forum. So we'll talk about it later.
We'll come back to that.
Yeah, let's do that. All right. Once again, thanks everybody for tuning in tonight. We do have a ticket giveaway. So in case you missed it earlier, you're going to go ahead and text GOLD to 780-307-7779 for a pair of party deck tickets. Sorry, party deck tickets. I was going to say watch party tickets, but you don't have to pay for those. Party deck tickets. Once again, that is text GOLD to 780-307-7779. Get your entries in. We already got quite a few here on the text line, so make sure you get your entry in as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have made it to another lovely edition of the Edmonton Sports Update. Your 6-9 Edmonton Elks defeated the Saskatchewan Roughriders 2 Saturdays ago by a score of 29-27. They are hosting the Winnipeg Blue Bombers this Saturday. Sorry, 27-25 is the score. Yes. 27-25. That is 3 weeks in a row. What is going on with me? Sorry, the Edmonton Elks ended up defeating the Saskatchewan Roughriders by a score of 27-25. How am I off by that? They will continue their push for the playoffs this Saturday in an attempt to keep the dream alive. Kickoff is at 5 p.m. Mountain with the tailgate starting at 2 p.m. Mountain. The 2025 Edmonton Elks Tailgate Chili Cookoff will be happening this Saturday before the Edmonton Elks game, presented by Edmonton Sports Talk. You need a barbecue, the Turf District, and the Edmonton Elks. The Chili Cookoff will be sure to feed the fans. Help us judge chili for the fan vote by tasting and voting. Down in Lot B outside of Commonwealth Stadium 3 hours before the game. Ballots and ballot box will be found at stall 182. See you there. The Edmonton Oil Kings suffered defeat against the Medicine Hat Tigers in the Hat last night. They'll continue their campaign on Saturday against the Moose Jaw Warriors at Rogers Place. Puck drop is at 2 p.m. Mountain. Your Edmonton Oilers were defeated by the Calgary Flames last night, a 4-3 shootout loss in last night's season opener. They'll host the Canucks Saturday night at Rogers Place. Puck drop is at 8 p.m. Mountain. Don't forget that Love Pro Wrestling has events every month with their next event featuring the Clandestine Wrestling Society on October 23rd, and then the main event on Friday, October 24th. With tickets as low as $10, you don't want to miss out. We're the Elks Herd. You're up to date. Just good. It's a good beat. Big shout out to our viewers, our listeners, everybody that is here or in the future. You are rocking with the Elks Herd. This is the Elks Call. Once again, can't thank everybody enough for tuning in tonight. All right. We do have a tailgate pass giveaway. Tailgate pass giveaway. We need a drum roll on here. I need to get a... The winner of the tailgate pass is Michelle McLean. Big shout out to Michelle. That was actually a Facebook entry. So yes, we do a number system. We spin the wheel, and sure enough, Michelle McLean ended up winning the tailgate pass giveaway. So congratulations, Michelle. Very happy for you. Now you can also enter in the Tailgate Chili Cookoff as well with this tailgate pass. So that was a big win for Michelle. I will be contacting her tomorrow. Michelle, if you're listening, we'll contact you first thing tomorrow morning, and make sure you can get on over to our location to get that tailgate pass picked up. Because as you know, tailgate pass, you got to have the physical thing. So
you kind of have to have it before you get in.
Oh, definitely. And a big shout out to Tracy Ham and Eggs. That is Ken Borchuk, who is in here earlier in the herd chat. So big shout out. You know, these giveaways come from fans and supporters of the show. I think that, you know, it's an understatement to say that our community of Double E fans are simply amazing.
Yes, they sure are.
For the fans, right? I was talking with the Edmonton Elks last Wednesday, and, you know, they had asked, spoiler alert, but they had asked, you know, what kind of brings you back to Commonwealth Stadium year over year? Like, well, it's the fans. It has to be the fans. Like,
it's not the team winning.
See, I couldn't say that. I couldn't say that. I couldn't say that.
Oh my goodness.
So yes, and much like Andrew had alluded to earlier, that yes, you know, sometimes the game's not that good, but the tailgate always wins. And you know, part of that, even bigger than that, is people that swing through the tailgate. Klima's Lid, huge supporter of the show. So thankful for him, thankful for Ken, thankful for everybody that tunes in, listens, and supports the show.
100%. It's so cool too. I mean, because every single one of these people could just not say anything. If they don't show up, they could just not show up. They were already losing the money. It's not like they're selling those tickets, but instead they reach out to us and they let us know that somebody else can have that experience, which is super cool.
Yeah, it's the experience, right? The experience piece is what it's all about. You don't just necessarily come down to Commonwealth Stadium for a game anymore just to watch your team because they're your favorite team. People have lives. Kids have sports. You know, we're going to be facing that issue here within the next couple of years and trying to navigate those waters if our youngest decides to jump into football. But, you know, there's vacations, there's realities, there's emergencies, there's XYZ. So for people to think of us and for us to be able to do these giveaways and give other people these experiences as well, it's thanks to you. It's thanks to fans. It's thanks to the supporters, donors, XYZ. So thank you. Big. Let's do a little round of applause for you. Shout out you. Thank you. All right. Next up, let's play some greener gold or greener gold. Green. Greener Gold is brought to you by our new Edmonton Oil Kings fan hub, the Royal Line. Cody and Len bring you their fan-sided coverage from outside of the rink into your screens. You can find them at the Royal Line on most social media platforms. Go hit them up, give them a like, give them a follow. All right. Greener Gold, everybody. This is our spin on hot or not. So if you like the topic or item we bring up, you're going to vote gold. But if you don't like it, you're going to vote green. Herd chat, you know what to do. Blow it up. Throw your vote into the herd chat and have your voice HERD heard. All right. Green or gold? Some quick background on this one. Jamie Nye of, I want to say the Green Zone, Saskatchewan, CFL writer.
Right.
Very prominent. Jamie Nye had mentioned, hey, wouldn't it be cool if the Indigenous CFL logos were used full-time versus the original logo? So, Herd Chat, what do you think? Indigenous logos being used full-time versus the originals. Is that green or is it gold?
I'm going to say green.
You're saying green.
Yes. And the reason for that is, when you have something all the time, it loses its value, that you get used to it and it's not special anymore. If we use the Indigenous logo to celebrate Indigenous people, and we have one game or two games or whatever it may be dedicated to that, it makes it special.
Yeah.
If suddenly you start changing everything and that's the only logo that you see and it becomes the primary, it loses a lot of its meaning, in my opinion. That's why I would say that I like that they bring it back. I like that they make it a big thing for a game and they change the jersey and they do all of these things. And that makes it valuable. That gives it value, that gives it a meaning. If it's there all the time, it loses its meaning.
Yeah, and it looks like a lot of the Herd Chat agrees with you here. Jamie Fadoon, that's a green from our good friend Jamie. What up, Jamie? Good to see you in here tonight. Shane Smith here on Facebook is given a green as well. Pierre says green. Game day, baby. What up, Ken Shapka? He's saying green. So we got quite a few greens in here, and Klima's lid does agree with you. So, you know what? I'm going to say gold. And the reason why I'm going to say gold.
Because you like to argue with me.
Okay, let's just say it's an alternate dimension here, and the Double E have their old name. Okay. And what if something like this full time truly celebrates?
But my argument to that is that if they decide to change the name, let's say that is a possibility, why would they keep the Elk logo? Regardless,
well, they would have to have a new. They would have to.
That, so it's not the same one.
Well, I think, yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, okay, you got me there. I mean, I think it's a great way to celebrate. You know what? I'll back off the ledge on this one. You know what? For once in my life on this show, because I'm having a hard time. Yeah, I'm like, come on, it's got to be a gold somehow.
You can't think of anything.
Yeah, no, I think I'm gonna have to agree with the people. Save it for the dedicated game. Yeah, Pierre. You got, yeah. Okay, I'll join the green crew on this one. Call me green. Call me green. Yeah. All right. And I wish I would have gotten you the picture for this one. Topic number 2, the Larry Memorial logo remaining on the field for the season.
Oh, that's a gold.
That's a
gold.
Yeah.
That was too many words and echo.
Yeah.
Yes, no, that's nice. I think that that is something that nobody could fault for them seeing it for the rest of the season, for sure. An ode to what he did for the team, an ode to his family and the legacy that he's bringing. 100%.
Yeah, it's got to be gold. That's a gold, big gold. It has to be a gold simply for the fact that it's a great way to celebrate him. I also like how they have it in the 1970s football, right? Yeah, I don't quite have the 75th logo outside of these pieces of paper where you can't see the double E. But what I would say, you can't see that. Yeah, kind of, a little bit. So that EE, I want to say, yes, it's that EE logo, the oval. They've taken out the double E's and they put in Larry. So, yes, I think it is a gold. It has to be a gold. Here we have Klima's lid, gold. Pierre, gold. Ken Shapka, gold.
All the golds.
It's all gold. I mean, if you're saying green to this one, you're heartless. No, I'm just kidding.
Get out of here.
All right. Sorry, everybody. That was an easy one for today. It was pretty easy.
I like that you still tried to argue.
Well, you know, and I mean, a CFL writer has this opinion. So, I mean, if he has this opinion, then I got to try to find the sense in it, you know?
It
So
doesn't mean that opinion is right.
Yeah, Riders fan. I mean, Riders fan. That's all I got to say. All right, before we go into our final segment, let's quickly talk about Chili Cookoff.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Let's do it.
All right, everybody. So one of our favorite things that we've been talking about all night, if you're just tuning in, you're going to hear about it. If you've been tuning in all night, you're hearing about it again. But the Chili Cookoff is coming on October 11th. Now, people have been asking about the rules, which we will be sending out all of the documentation tomorrow. We wanted to make sure we have our list finalized and whatnot, but the Chili Cook-Off will be featuring 4 to 5 judges this year. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a table format, so it's going to be 1 ounce cups. We're going to pick up the shot glasses so that everybody has the same measurement. So it's going to be the 1 ounce Dixie shot glasses, and
just for a little background on that, the reason why we're sticking to 1.5, tops 2, but I mean, it's obviously up to the judge not to completely gorge on a chili, is that if we have multiple participating chilies, by the time that you get to your 15th chili, it's too much chili.
It's too much.
That's why that became a rule.
Officer Jeff of the CFL Fun Police was like, "Hey, can I put in a request?" I'm like, "Yeah, what's that?" He's like, "Yeah, well, if I'm going to judge, can you please make sure that it's not like 5 ounce portions?" It's like, "Yeah, man, don't worry. We got this one nipped in the bud. Don't you worry. We're not gonna send you into Commonwealth with a
well, and you looked it up. There is such a thing as too much chili.
Oh yeah.
There is a too much chili that you can have, which was like what, 15 to 20 ounces?
15 ounces is technically a lot of chili for one person. So that's why we are trying to limit this down to 1 ounce shot glasses. Presentation will not be a part of the major judging this year. Out of the judge the judges scorecard.
Presentation of the chili or the stall?
The stall.
There you go.
Yeah,
yes.
like I mean, presentation of the chili, obviously, but now with the 1 ounce shot glass, there's only going to be so much you can do, right?
So people can get creative, I'm sure. But yes, we will not be judging on the presentation of the stall because the judges are not going to the stalls, so that takes that away. Mm-hmm. But keep in mind that people can still have people to their stalls. We will be having a people's vote as well.
Right. So much like last year, 2 separate prizes for 2 separate categories. One will be judges vote. The other one is fan vote. So, you know, fan vote, do whatever you want, sway people however you want. We don't really care on that one. But when it comes to the judges vote, there will be no alcohol bribes this year. Don't be showing up to stall 182 with a shot glass of alcohol. Show up with a shot glass of chili.
And even with the fan vote, I think at some point one of us will have to make sure that we're keeping track of the participating chilies for the fan vote as well, because we did have an instance last year of a little bit of extra incentive for putting in their names in the ballots. We don't want that at all this year, so we will be keeping an eye on the ballots as well and the situation around in Lot B to make sure that there's no funny business going around. Yeah,
there will be no, there will be nobody putting a jersey up anywhere and saying, "Hey, put an entry in here for a free jersey and then go over and vote for us over at Stall 182." Because we had a situation like that last year. And obviously, once the winners are decided, they're decided. But this year, we are going to be a little bit more strict when it comes to those rules. I mean, hey, if alcohol's involved in the fan vote part of it,
I think it's a little bit different than, hey, well, even in the first year, we had an issue that there was way too much alcohol being given for votes, and people were double counting votes and putting stacks of ballots. So what we're doing to combat that, what we're doing there is making sure that we're keeping track of the ballots. So one of us will be at the ballots, always making sure that, people are not putting stacks of the same number in. Maybe we'll get some help from somebody else just to make sure that the judges are being taken care of as well.
But 1 ballot per person.
Yes. And then one of us, most likely myself, will be walking around and making sure that we're keeping an eye on competitors and that we're not seeing anything funny.
Yeah, and once again, we will have maps.
Mhm.
We will have
Yeah.
maps at our stall, and everybody else will be handed maps as
Mhm.
well. I believe we have around 10 entries. We have room for 5 more. So
Yeah.
if you are listening and if you do want to enter, get it in now because
Get your
it is
chili in.
hard cutoff for tomorrow night. Chris does say, in regards to the bribery, that was some dirty poop. So
that was.
I want to say that could be our good friend Chris Agar. So if it is, what up, Chris Agar? And I
And
apologize if it's
he
not.
is competing. So
Chris Agar is?
Yeah.
Oh, let's go, Chris. Let's get it.
so no, it'll be tons of fun. Please, I mean, if you're interested, put in your name, and if not, come and just taste some chili.
Yeah, and I mean, like we said, we are going to be going around and seeing if anybody else does have their number displayed. If anybody has their number displayed and is, openly participating, they'll be invited to the judges' vote until we reach that 15 mark. So
Yeah.
the judges' competition, then the fan vote competition, it's going to be a fantastic time. I'm very, very excited. Once again, this is in part to the fans. So this is all possible due to the fans. It's a fan-led initiative. It's a bunch of fan fun. Our friends, great partners on board. You Need a Barbecue with a sauce pack. The trophy, obviously, for the judges, for the judges' vote. I believe the Jennings and I are going to be, the Jennings and ourselves are going to be coming up with a new trophy this year, which is pretty exciting. So dumping a little chunk of change into that and making it a little bit more spiffy. So that's going to be exciting. But our partners, You Need a Barbecue, Turf District is pitching in some goods. I'll be on the EST Hangout tomorrow morning to shoot the breeze, and they're offering a prize pack as well. So, and of course,
Edmonton Elks.
the Edmonton Elks. Yeah, the last but certainly not least, the Edmonton Elks are another big major partner in this. So they'll be around with their cameras, taking pictures, checking out your chili.
We'll throw in some prizes in there too.
We will?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Well, yeah. We can't just put our name on it. We're organizing. You don't need
get a handshake. No, we will not.
No, that's not the way it works. So yeah, very exciting. Couldn't be more thrilled for it. It's one of the most exciting games of the season. And we can't wait to see everybody down at Lot B. It's going to be a fantastic day. Competitors, load up on the chili, bring 2 pots. Highly recommend. Last year we did have around 350 votes in the fan vote.
Yeah.
So there's a potential that you're feeding, hundreds of people out of this chili. So, and
not a requirement. I mean, do how much
you
are able to. 100%.
Yeah, we're not gonna,
yes,
force anybody to serve up hundreds and hundreds of servings, but that is all up to you. But
it's also difficult because you're not allowed to bring anything that will heat your chili, so you got to manage your portion so that you don't have a massive pot of chili that is just going to go cold.
Oh yeah, right? Grill, but then it sits out in the cold.
Yeah, so it's going to be chilly. So yes, I mean, it'll be fun. Come check it out.
It'll be great. Everybody, come on down, come eat some chili, and enjoy the open air stadium afterwards, because it's thank the Lord it's open air.
Lots of chili.
Imagine a roof on Commonwealth Stadium after chili.
That one, no, thank you.
Speaking of which, they need to get green and gold dogs back. All right. Thanks everybody for participating in Green or Gold. That was fun. Let's move on to our final segment. All right. Time to bring back that fan favorite. It is the fan forum. This fan forum is brought to you by the Argos Fancast. Join Clay, Will, and Sir Doug as they give you the latest from Argos land, the 6th, right here on SSN Shotgun Sports. All right. Final segment of the night, everybody. Let's open it up. This is the fan forum. In this segment, we're going to talk about the hottest topics surrounding the Edmonton Elks and the CFL world as a whole. Herd chat for the last time tonight. You know what to do. Blow it up. Get your comments and questions into the herd chat. We already saw some questions, so we will be getting back to those here. I believe, I saw a couple back there, right? So we will be taking in some fan questions for this fan forum today. Let's open it up. It's officially open. All right, question number 1. The Edmonton Elks have a 10% chance of making the playoffs with 3 critical Western matchups on deck and a maximum of 1 loss available to take.
Oh, okay. That answers my question that I had, and I think it was Pierce's question as well.
Perfect.
At the beginning of the show, but okay. 1 loss.
1 loss. Which team? So the three teams on deck right now are the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, the BC Lions, and then the Calgary Stampeders.
Okay.
Which team do you want to lose to? And
ideally we win all three.
Yes.
But if we were to lose to one, I would say Winnipeg. Lose this one, come back with the next 2 wins.
Lose to Winnipeg? Because we could still get the tiebreaker over them, but you have to win by 2 touchdowns.
See, and that's the part that I'm not sure if it's gonna happen. Like, if it comes down to it, I would prefer closing the season strong, beating BC, because that is a conversation piece right there. You beat BC, especially with Nathan Rourke, and Cody Fajardo goes into the new season with all the confidence in the world. You beat Calgary in Edmonton, and that's a party to finish the season.
Yeah, but then the problem is, and people have identified here in the herd chat, Lions are really the only team that we can't have a tiebreaker over. We've lost twice to them.
But do you really think that we're going to win against Winnipeg by 2 touchdowns?
The season depends on it.
So we have to.
So your options here are either win against Winnipeg by 2 touchdowns, lose to BC, and then beat Calgary.
Yeah, I mean, that's a given.
Right? Which that'll be for tiebreaker as well.
Yeah.
Or flat out win out without getting the 2 touchdowns against Winnipeg.
Ideally, that's what needs to happen.
The 2 touchdowns wouldn't matter if you get all 3, right?
I just want Cody Fajardo to beat Nathan Rourke. That's all I want. That's all I want. I know it's
I don't like Nathan Rourke. I just want to beat Nathan Rourke.
I know it's a big ask, but just give me my storyline.
Yeah,
I mean, with the Winnipeg, I mean, obviously, nobody wants to lose to Winnipeg, but to me, it's a little bit more. Well, either way, it's not realistic. But anyways, that's just my storyline.
Very fair. Well, okay, and let's say in the event that we are playing 2 out of 3, I would want a 40-24 this weekend. Yeah. Right? Ideally, the Edmonton Elks stomp Winnipeg. 100%. 2 touchdowns to boot, a 40-24. You let them in. That's kind of expected. Zach Collaros is miraculously healthy again.
Right.
So the Edmonton Elks do have a battle up against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers incoming here.
They really do.
And if you're not going to win by the 2 touchdowns, then you have to win your way out.
Well, and just like Klima's lid said here, no one thought we'd be the Riders. So who knows? Who knows? Right? Anything can happen, as we have seen. Maybe we'll get a little lucky again. Maybe, Winnipeg will have a bad game. Maybe we will have a great game. You never know. You don't know what's going to happen until the zeros are on the clock.
Love that. Chris does also say here in the herd chat, this game is a true go big or go home. And yeah, you're not wrong, Chris. It really is. Now, before we get to question 2, because that's a show ender, let's go to the question earlier on. There is a question earlier on. There's
a couple. No, there was
Cody Fajardo.
One is for Klima's lid. The most important Elks question: will Fajardo sign an extension?
Big question. Her chat let us know. And yes, Chris, I did see your comment. 2018 does not surprise me that we have not had a win against Winnipeg in our own building, especially since 2018. So that just kind of ties in with what we were talking about in regards to this game. But Cody Fajardo, looking into the future here, does Fajardo sign an extension? I think he does.
I think so.
The question behind that is what happens with Trey Ford's salary.
Yeah.
Because right now, Cody Fajardo is making I don't know, somewhere between 150 and 250K a year. I forget the exact on his contract, but between Trey Ford making, that large sum of around 400K a year, I believe, or something, right?
Yeah.
He has a pretty big contract on his head. So it'll be interesting to see if that kind of changes a bit, if there's any sort of renegotiations of Trey Ford's contract. But I do think that there is great potential for Cody Fajardo to stick with this team, especially now that they are building chemistry and things are actually rolling along, and there does appear to be a home for him here.
And it also depends on how much money is being offered.
How much money Ottawa is offering, because
Yeah.
the Ottawa Red Blacks are in crisis mode with Drew Brown,
Yeah.
right? What happens if Ottawa comes in or another team comes in with a 400 to 500K offer saying, hey, we got good starter money for you.
Yeah.
And then the Edmonton Elks are kind of panicking to secure their quarterback.
Yeah.
And I think at this point, the Edmonton Elks do need to keep Cody Fajardo for next year.
Yeah.
I foresee doom and gloom if they have to switch quarterbacks again or bank on Trey Ford when he might not be ready.
Yeah.
Still.
I agree on all of that, but yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, I do foresee him staying, but again, sometimes money talks a little bit louder.
But
right? So I don't know.
The other benefit though would be to properly transition Trey Ford if Trey Ford does indeed have the pieces.
Yeah.
Right? If you want to make...
But that's going to take another year.
It's going to take another year.
At least.
So you sign on Cody Fajardo for a 2-year extension and you give Trey Ford that proper opportunity to move over to the true starting quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Now, does anybody have patience for that? That's
just it. Especially if there's a better offer somewhere else that could come in. If you're Cody Fajardo, what do you do?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's one of those situations that if there's an opportunity to continue being the starter somewhere else for higher pay, do you take it?
And I like that Chris brought that up because that is a very, very good point. Game Day Baby does say here.
Sorry, wrong one.
Game Day Baby does say I do not like Cody as the E's future. Which, hey man, and definitely entitled to that. Nobody can really see into the future either, so yeah, we don't know. Kind of to go with that, if Bo Levi retires, trade Hamilton, I believe that is one of the more probable routes for both Trey Ford and Hamilton.
You know what would really suck though, if we trade Trey and then he's really good.
Which is possible.
Oh, it is. It is. So, well, we've seen it many times, and we've talked about this before, that when it comes to quarterbacks, sometimes it's not just about the personal skill, but it's the chemistry with the entire team, with the coaches, the coordinator, right? Everything kind of ties to the performance. We saw with Arbuckle that he's doing way better in a different system, in a different system, right? So there is a big chance that if Trey Ford gets traded to Hamilton, he'll do way, way, way better than he's currently doing for the Elks. But everybody would just lose their minds if that happens.
Correct. Al, the game is at 5 p.m. on Saturday against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
There was one
supersized Indiana Jones.
Oh, sorry.
Big dub incoming Saturday. Let's go, Elks. Let's go, Big U. Supersized Indiana Jones in the herd chat of Labor Day lore. Love it.
There is one more question. I just saw it, and it was question Elks Rookie of the Year.
Love this question. Ooh, that is a good question. Rookie of the Year. Rookie.
Yeah.
I almost got to look up the rookie status. Right
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Rookie. Who has been performing as a rookie?
I feel like last year was so much easier with Nick Anderson on.
Well, you know what? But following in linebackers, I want to see Brock Mogensen if he's rookie status.
JJ Ross.
JJ Ross, is he rookie status?
Well, Chris, that's what he's answering by Chris on the chat. I'm not sure if he's rookie status.
JJ Ross, he might be. Vincent Blanchard, because he only.
Yeah.
Vincent Blanchard,
I like that. Sorry. I keep clicking on the wrong one. Vincent Blanchard could be a really good option. I mean, he's been doing fantastic.
He has been. I mean, to watch this guy turn around his own season in a matter of games.
Yeah.
When he was almost pitchforked out of Edmonton.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I remember that.
I remember those episodes.
It was like one episode of everybody calling from Dean Faithful to come back because he had a bad game. And we're just like, man, like, what are we doing?
Yeah, the herd chat was like, hey, is it too late to call Dean Faithful? What's Dean Faithful doing, right?
And then he turned it around and he's been doing great.
I think his
stats his percentage is really high.
Yeah, and you know what? JJ Ross, Vincent Blanchard, and I would also put in Brock Mogensen as well, because until Nick Anderson, haven't really seen guys step into that linebacker role, or even Joel DeBlanco. They've been great at that. The linebackers, I don't, off the top of my head, I don't know who the exact coach is, but whatever they're doing there, the Edmonton Elks as a whole, even, they're doing fantastic with the linebackers. Brock Mogensen came in and got player of the week honors. Like, you know, these guys are stepping up, the next man up mentality with the double E. It's been really good in some areas. Yeah. It's been a little bit more questionable in others, which I think we could easily point those ones out. Wide receiver. But, you know, the linebacker core has actually been really good. So, yeah, that is a good question. Who would it be? If you were to pick out of those three, which JJ Ross has been making plays too, how do I put JJ Ross over Blanchard, right?
Chris does say that he did play one game last year. Not sure if that disqualifies him as a rookie.
No, it does not, because Vincent Blanchard was also dressed for the last game of the season as well, I want to say, right? So if he plays one game, that is a good question. I'm not sure if it does disqualify him truly, but I'm pretty sure usually rookie is considered half of a season or around. Right. Let's see. Let's look it up.
Okay, we're making it awkward here with awkward silence while we wait.
That's fine. Well, why don't we ask the last question? You got it.
Okay. Oh, I don't read these in advance, but anyways, but tomorrow being the Tailgate Chili Cookoff, we must ask, do beans belong in chili? Why is this a question?
Do beans belong in chili? Do you think?
I'm Mexican. I was born and raised in Mexico. We have chili con carne, and that has beans every time because we put beans in everything.
So as per EST, the hangout last year, we did find out that proper chili does not have beans.
What is proper chili? Like Texan chili?
Proper chili is just chili without beans. You know,
who said that? Who made that
chili,
rule up?
The chili, like the International Chili Committee.
Oh my gosh, there's an
There is a very big governing body for chili. Okay, governing body, and we're gonna talk about it on the Hangout again tomorrow too.
What is this?
I'm gonna reference this.
A government body.
So
governing. Who invented chili?
Yeah. We are working the Googles tonight. Also, apparently rookie status can be revoked for a player who has dressed in a regular season game. So I'm gonna research that one after.
Interesting.
I'm gonna research that one because that means Vincent Blanchard
it
technically
wouldn't be consider.
But I feel like this is just AI let me down here. So I'm gonna look this up later.
But yes, I do agree with Chris. I think it depends on the region. I think it depends on where you're from, whether it has chili beans or not. I mean, Americans, they have their own little bubble and bland ass freaking food. But when it comes to Latin America, I can guarantee that every single one of their chilies has beans.
So the International Chili Society since 1967.
Okay, that's a society. Okay? That's not a government.
That is. In 1967, the last time the Leafs won the cup, ICS has been bringing people together over America's greatest culinary creation, chili. Chili was invented in America. Tex-Mex.
It is Tex-Mex.
So we sanction nationwide chili cook-offs all year long, which raise money for charities and produce an annual world champion. So these people declare their own champion, which means gold.
Game Day Baby says, gold means baby. I love it. No.
Let's go, Ken. Let's go. Cleveland's Lid does say, yeah, of course, beans in the chili. And Chris says, no.
No. I feel like, no. This is just asking for trouble.
Do you let me think. Hold up. Tim Hortons, does their chili have beans?
I don't know. I think so.
I think so.
I'm trying. It's been over a year since I've had it, so I don't remember, but I think they do.
But, and anybody that's
Look at Chris over here bringing out my people. Versions of chili go back to the Aztecs. They are my people. I did the test.
Oh, I love it. I love
The 23andMe.
23. I know I'm Aztec. Okay.
I am Aztec.
We did have one more question here by Jamie Fadoon. I want to say I saw one up there.
Yeah.
What would happen if there's a 4-way tie for second, third, and fourth? Who would miss the playoffs? Well, then it would come down to tiebreakers. So your tiebreakers, they would get knocked down, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that is a good question, man. That is a good question. What would happen? Does it go by scoring? It probably goes by points and differential.
I would say.
And then anybody how do you deal with that? Now, if any teams have lost tiebreaker in there, I would assume that those guys move down. So, let's say Elks, they would get moved down instantly because they don't own a tiebreaker over BC.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, that's a weird one.
I don't know.
I don't know if anybody's actually played that out yet.
Well, what are the chances of something like that happening?
It's possible right now. The Calgary Stampeders are absolutely floundering.
Yeah.
The season could end 9-9 for them very easily.
Yeah.
Very easily. They have zero momentum right now.
Yeah.
The Calgary Stampeders.
No, but you never know. You never know. It's still too early.
I mean, well, it's easy to say that from 6-9 over here, right?
Exactly.
Oh yeah, Calgary Stampeders aren't going to do nothing for the rest of the season. Yeah, that's a good question, Jamie. Yeah, you got me stumped on this one, man. I'm gonna have to figure this out.
Put it on X. Not right now.
No.
Afterwards. We'll do a question on X.
At Dave Naylor. Hey,
hey,
Dave.
what would happen if?
Hey, well, I'll probably bring it up on the Hangout tomorrow too on Edmonton Sports Talk. All righty, let's see. We're going to go through the last comments. Tim Horton's chili is glorified pasta sauce. Let's give Chris gets the horn for that one. That was good. And side note, Timmy's needs to bring the bread bowls back.
Yes, I agree. I used to love those with butter.
Not wrong. Yeah, I ate the bowl. All right. That's a commercial back in the day. You didn't see it. You weren't in Canada at that point.
No,
That's
probably
good.
not.
I ate the bowl. Us old folks know.
I'm older than you.
Us Canadian. Us old Canadians know.
Anyways.
You're the one bragging about the Aztec roots. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and close this fan forum officially. And let's end the show.
Yeah.
Let's roll it out. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a fantastic episode with everybody tonight on the Elks Call. Got to thank you, the viewer. Big round of applause to everybody for tuning in tonight. Anybody that's listening, shout out you. Shout out for riding with us here at the Elks Herd and the Elks Call. We do the show for you, with you, and we are fans too. So for fans from fans, this is your home for Edmonton Elks Fan Talk. We don't know everything, but we're all here to shoot the breeze as fans. So thank you, everybody. Big shout out to Andrew Hoskins for joining us tonight. Let's hit him with an applause as well. Andrew Hoskins, fantastic. That's over at the Turf District, helping us put on the Chili Cookoff. So go check them out at the Turf District. You already know where they're at. Great people, great stuff. That's it for us for tonight. This has been, once again, a fantastic show. There's a big game up this weekend, big Chili Cookoff, October 11th versus the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, 2 p.m. for the Chili Cookoff. If you're tuning in now, go check out the episode earlier parts of the episode to get that Elks ticket giveaway. But other than that, from the Elks Call, my name is Scout, aka the rep from Section X.
And I'm Catherine, aka Do You Even Elks?
We are the Elks Herd. This was the Elks Call, and we will catch everybody next Wednesday or Thursday for another lovely edition of the Elks Call, and hopefully with an Edmonton Elks win under our belts. Thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. We'll check you later.
Have a good night.
Cheers.